Good morning to all the students. Today, our next lecture of weed management is about adjuvants and their use in herbicides. As you all know, herbicides are those chemicals which we are using to kill the weeds. Okay, so now we have to study about what are the adjuvants. Okay. So, after gathering this lecture or listening this lecture, you have to learn about the what is adjuvants, what are the different mode of actions of adjuvants, how we can manage our herbicides residue in soils, and there is one more terms that is antidotes and surfactant. These are the terms we are most commonly used in herbicides. Okay. So these all we have to study in this lecture. Okay. So if I talk about what are adjuvants or why they are coming into accounts, as you all know that herbicides are quite sometimes have quite toxic in nature, and to us to improve the performance of herbicides in our agriculture, we are introducing adjuvants at a large scale. So, what are adjuvants? They are the word that word is come from a Latin language that is adjuvare, which means to aid or to cure or to improve. These are the chemicals which we are using for improving the performance of our herbicide pesticides, and we are doing mixing also, handling also. We increase the effectiveness of the herbicide, and proper better distribution and safety measures should be taken. So according to American Society for Testing Materials, what are adjuvants? These are the materials which we are adding in a tank. Okay, and we are modify our agrochemical means they should be your herbicide, they should be your insecticide, pesticide. Okay, all the chemicals which we are using for killing any kind of living organism which is harming our main crop. Okay, so another definition of adjuvant, it is that it is an ingredient that aids or modified the action of principal active ingredient. As I in previous class I told you about the active ingredient. So, what adjuvant act as a catalyst. If I say that in a chemical reaction to fasten the chemical reaction, there is a need of catalyst. Okay, so similarly, if we want to fasten or to kill the weeds in a large amount, we need adjuvants. Okay, so depend upon the mode of action of different, I can say, herbicides. Adjuvants are different mode of action. So as to improve, also as to fasten the herbicide, I can say action. Okay, so there are different kinds of adjuvants like surfactants, stabilizing agent, coupling agents, humectants, deposit builders, compatibility agents, activators, drift controllers. So if I talk about the surfactants, they are the surface active agents. Okay, if I talk about the stabilizing agent, it means they are those agents which stabilize the active ingredient so that it can kill the weed properly. Then coupling agents, then humectants, then deposit builders, then compatibility agents, and then activators, also known as synergists. Okay, and drift control agents. So if I talk about surfactants, so they are the surface active agents, means we have to apply these kinds of adjuvants on the surface. Okay, like there are different kinds of surfactant, like which some are wetting agents, some are spreader, and some are penetrates. So from these words, you are already it is clear that what I am talking about. If I talk about wetting agent, so in this we are using this surfactant on the leaf surface. Okay, and the condition or the nature of the herbicide is aqueous. Okay, so we are applying these type of adjuvants with the aqueous or liquid herbicide sprays. Okay, which is wetty in nature. Okay, then if I talk about spreading, in spreading the hydrophilic herbicides are used, and we are doing these herbicides application on the foliage, means on the aerial parts of the plants. Okay, then come the penetration of herbicide into target leaves and stem. So if I talk about penetrates, it means that this herbicide penetrate on particular target leaf or stem. Means if we are spraying the any kind of herbicide, so it can directly come upon the targeted leaf. We are spraying on a targeted leaf, and the herbicide is penetrated in that leaf surface or stem surface. Okay. Then there is stabilizing agents. So basically, the stabilizing agents are of two types. One is emulsifier, and second is dispersing agents. So they have different examples also of emulsifiers and dispersing agents. So if I talk about emulsifiers, so these are the substance which stabilizes or reduces the tendency to separate. Okay, what does it mean? It means it stabilizes the herbicide, okay, and the suspension of droplets of one liquid which otherwise would not mix with the first one. So emulsifiers are those which cannot mix with one liquid to another liquid. Okay, if I am supplying any kind of emulsifier, so it get be fixed on that or stabilize on that particular part of the plant. Okay, so the example is Solved, okay, and ABS. If I talk about dispersing agent, dispersing means spreading agents. These are kind of suspensions, I can say. So what they can do, they keep the fine particles of the wettable powder in a suspension. What we have to do, we take a water and the wettable powder, and we have to make a suspension like I can say it is thick. Okay, so they what they do, they act as a hydration for fine particles. We are using the proper hydration process for applying these kind of herbicides or adjuvants or stabilizing agents. Okay, then comes the coupling agents. They are the solvents and co-solvents. You all know that there is one is solvent and solute. So solvent is that thing which are we are using for dissolving purpose, and solute is like example is water, and we are mixing our salt. That salt is the solvent, and solute is our water. So similarly, coupling agents comprises of both solvents and co-solvents. So these are the chemicals that is used to solubilize a herbicide in a concentrated form. Suppose if I have 2,4-D, so what I have to dissolve it in water. Okay, so and this is the example, okay, in which we have a proper proportion and we can use a proper quantity of both solvent and solute. You all know that the solute concentration should be more than the solvent concentration. Okay, the common solvents are benzene, acetone, petroleum ether, carbon tetrachloride. These are some example of coupling agents. Then if I talk about the humificants, so what are humificants? They are the hygroscopic agent. What they do, they prevent the rapid drying of herbicide spray on the foliage. Means there is no immediate drying of that particular spray if we do on our foliage plant. Okay, foliage of the plant. So they are providing the better absorption process of the herbicide. The example is glycerol. Okay. Then come the deposit builders. So deposit builders are also known as stickers or filming agents. You have heard about in anti-transparents that there is a film forming anti-transparent. So what is that? In which there is a thin film is sticked on that particular plant surface or aerial part of the plant. Similarly, deposit builders means these are the chemicals which are added to the herbicide concentrate so as to hold the toxicant with the plant surface. Okay, they also reduce the washing off process. Okay, then the example is several petroleum oils and sometimes Cetowet. This is the spreader sticker we are using. Then the compatibility agents come. What are compatibility agents? These are the agents which we are mixing with our fertilizer and pesticides in a spray liquids. Okay, they should be sprayed on the foliage or on the plant or on the soil surface. So we are using these adjuvants with fertilizer and pesticide by making a mixture, okay, in a liquid form, then it should be sprayed in our field. The example is complex. Okay, so next come the activators, or they also known as synergists. So these are those chemicals which are having a cooperative action with the herbicide. Means what happened, the resultant is that the phytotoxicity is more than the effect of two working independent. Means if we are spraying two herbicides at a one time, so what happens, phytotoxicity develops. So for reducing that, we are using activator and synergists. Okay, they become cooperative with respect to herbicide. Okay, the example is paraffinic oils, ammonium thiocyanate, urea, ammonium chloride. So that to enhance the 2,4-D phytotoxicity. Suppose if I am applying 2,4-D, so what happened? There is a development of phytotoxicity in that plant. So I am using some kind of urea with it, so that it become cooperative and the phytotoxicity level decreases. Okay. Then comes the last, that is drift control agents. So what are drift control agents? As you all know that herbicide spray drifts may cause serious hazards to non-target plants. Suppose if I'm taking any kind of sprayer and I'm just spraying it on the plant, so they can harm the non-target plant also. Like the example of such herbicides are 2,4-D on cotton. So the solution is to spray herbicide liquids in a large droplets so that their dispersion should be less. Okay. So they divided into three. One is thickening agent, second is particulating agent, and third is foams. So if I talk about thickening agent, they are the large molecule organic compound which in aqueous solution may good viscous. Okay, and making the spray very viscous, so that large molecules of these compound will be sprayed in a less amount but in a large droplets. So the problem of non-targeting plants that should be reduced. Okay, the example is sodium alginate and hydroxyethyl cellulose and decagen. If I talk about the particulating agent, so it comprises of particles of lightly cross-linked swell-able polymers. Means you all know that polymer should be easily to be sticked out with anything. Okay, so we are using the cross-link particulating agents which stick to the herbicides, and it be imbibed with liquid as well as with oil. Okay, so that there should be a proper combination, so that our there should be a control on our drift. So the example is Norbeck. Okay, then the forms comes, you all know that they should be get sometimes gaseous. Okay, they contain the liquid also, but there is a small packets of gas also into it. So they are form like structures which we are using in our herbicide, so that there should be control of drift. Okay. Then next come the management of herbicide residues in soil. If there is a presence of herbicide residue in the soil, how you can manage that? Firstly, don't overutilize the herbicides. Don't give the overdose to the plants. Okay, we have to use the optimum dose of the herbicide. Second, if I talk about, we have to use the organic matter, because the holding capacity of organic matter or farmyard manure is quite good. So it can be reduce the herbicide residual effect. Okay, then we have to incorporate, or I can say we do plowing or some other cultural practices on the land, so that the herbicide residue should be incorporated into our main field and their effect should be reduced. Then come the crop rotation. We have to do a crop rotation. See, like if I am growing same crop on same land, so the if same thing will be done in the case of herbicide application. So what, the crop become resistant to it. Okay, the weeds become resistant to it and there is no effect. And that the herbicide we are applying in our main field get into the soil. It doesn't affect any kind of weeds. So what we have to do, we have to do crop rotation. Then sometimes we use the activated carbon also, and then we are using safener or antidotes also. I will explain you it in the next slide. What is that? Then leaching the soil. What we have to do, we irrigate the whole field so that all the chemical or herbicide residue get down in the soil, okay, through water. All the herbicide residue will be go downward, so that this is called the leaching process, in which our uh, nutrients or chemicals go down with the water, so that is leaching. So this should also be done to reduce the residual effect of herbicides. Hope these all points are clear to you all. Then come the antidotes and safener. If I talk about antidotes, what are the antidotes? So these are the chemicals which reduce the activation of herbicides. Sometimes if we are doing paraquat spray on any plant or weeds, okay, so if there is a, I can say, maximum reduction, and they are affecting the main crop also, so what we have to do to inactivate these this paraquat spray, we are using 1% of ferric chloride. So antidotes are used to inactivate the application of herbicide or their action, okay. Then come the safeners. Safener means safe. To protect or to save our crop plants, we are using safeners. These are the substances which we are using to protect our crop plants, so that they should become less tolerant, or they should be become the crop should also become susceptible. Means they are taking the herbicides and they got died. So as to if we are using safeners, what we are doing, we are supplying these substances in our main field, so that the herbicide dose should be neutralized, okay, so that we can control the weeds without harming our crop plants. That's why we are using safeners. Like the example is naphthalic anhydride, okay, we are supplying it in the field as 0.5 gram per kg of the seed for rice to protect against mollinate and alachlor. Okay, if we are supplying or applying molinate or alachlor, these are the herbicides which we are applying in the rice field. So they are harming our crop plants. So reducing that, we are using naphthalic anhydride on the crop plants, so that they can't be affected due to these kind of herbicides. So this is all about today's lecture. Okay, so these are the references you can follow up for further studies, and this is all about today's lecture. Thank you. And